Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to install a basic sliding shower or tub door. I'm How To Bob, and let's get started. Now all your basic tub shower doors have four basic parts. This is a side rail here. You can see it's shaped like an eye. It's going to go on the side here, and there'll be two of those. So I'm going to tape those in the approximate position where I want them to go, just for now. So I've got both of them on, one on each side. And they're taped into place. And then I'm going to measure between the two side rails, and then I'm going to go outside here where I can mark my bottom rail, and I'm going to take my little rubber seal here and slide it back so I don't cut that. I can cut that at a later time. I happen to have a wet diamond saw here. You can use a miter saw, you can use a grinder, you can use a hacksaw, but this gives me a nice clean straight square cut through my aluminum pieces here. And once I get that done, I'm going to file off the edge here. It's got a little rough part, so take my flat file and cut it into place. Now I cut this 1/8 of an inch shorter than my measurement, just so that it fit in there real nice. And my little rubber piece here, now I can slide that all the way back to the end, and then I can rotate my piece around, and you'll see I have a little excess here. I just want to cut that off, and that'll give me enough left over to create a good seal. So you can see the larger part goes on the outside of the tub. So I'm going to lay that in between the two side pieces that I've already put up and push it down tight. Next I'm going to make some adjustments to where the location of the rails that I have on the tub is located. You can see it's a little bit closer to the inside of the tub than the outside. I'd like it to be right about in the middle of the tub, so I'm going to slide it over on both sides, make sure that I have even spacing in between, and once I get it right where I want it, I can tighten up my tape and maybe even put a little bit more tape on there just to hold my side rails in position. And I think that's about right. So now that I've got that set, I'm going to make sure my side rails are level, and once I get those adjusted, I can take my pencil, and I've carved this pencil down so that it fits in the hole so that I can mark the wall behind it. Now behind the wall is porcelain tile, so I'm going to mark on the porcelain tile in all 6 spots. In this particular shower there's 6 spots. Then I can take my tape off of my side rails and find my holes. There's my hole. So I've got a diamond cutter here. Since I'm going through porcelain, I'm going to use a diamond hole saw. What it does is goes inside this guide here, and the top gets filled with water. So I'm going to take my double-sided adhesive strip here that it comes with, put it on the back of my guide, and then I'll peel the other side of the adhesive off and stick it right over top where the hole is, center it inside of my guide, and then stick it to the wall. Once I get it stuck to the wall, I get a little bit of water and pour it in the top, and I can fill that all the way to the top if I want. It'll just drain down into the bottom reservoir, and I get my drill with my diamond blade hole saw, and I just drill a hole through my porcelain of the correct size. Now if you have plastic, you may not need to do this, or if you've got some other kind of material, you may not need to use the diamond saw. So once I get that one done, I can peel my guide off and replace it and do the second hole. And it goes much the same way. I put some water in the top, and that drains down onto the diamond hole saw as it spins, and then I just peel my guide off, and I repeat that for the other remaining holes. Now you might want to use one of these anchors. I put this wall up so I know behind this hole here there is wood, so I don't need to use the anchor in this particular application. So I'm going to go ahead and fill my holes with clear mold resistant silicone just to seal off any water that may get through there. I'm going to eventually caulk the whole shower door, but it's always good to go a little bit extra distance to make sure no water gets through. Now that I've got everything in place, I can go ahead and put my screws in to hold my side rails in, and I've got that one in, and I just repeat for the remaining 5 screws. There's 3 in each side rail, and I tighten those in. Don't have to be super tight. Check my level, make sure everything's good on this one, and I can go ahead and tighten this one in all the way now. Now for the bottom rail, I'm going to go ahead and run a bead of caulking all the way down the inside of it, And then once I get my bead of caulking run all the way down the inside, I can go ahead and slide it in between the two side rails here. And then I'm going to push the bottom rail down into my bead of caulking, make sure that it makes a good seal, and then I'll wipe down all the excess silicone caulking off with my finger and make sure I get a nice clean edge on here. Next, I'm going to measure for the top rail, and that is from wall to wall. And I'm going to take it outside and transfer my measurement over. Now this is being measured 1/16 of an inch shorter than what I actually measured. So I'm going to cut it 1/16 of an inch shorter. And again, I'm going to use my diamond wet saw because it gives me a nice, clean, squared cut. And once I get that done, I'm going to clean off the edge here with the file. Go around the whole outside edge with my file. And I can then work on the inside edge just to get everything nice and clean so that it'll fit real tight up against the wall. Next, I'm going to go ahead and put my top rail on top of my two side rails, and it should slide down over the top on each side rail. And you can see it's good on that side, and it goes all the way over to this side, and we're tight on that side. So I'm going to drill a 7/64 inch hole on the inside. Now some of the shower doors have different kinds of holders for this. This is just your basic shower door, so it's just going to use a couple of stainless steel screws, one on each side on the inside of the shower door. Some of them have little clips on the inside that you don't see, but this one on the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and put my rollers on. It's just one screw on the back and the roller on the inside here. And I'm going to start by putting the rollers in the center of the slot. Now that slot is at an angle for a reason. That allows me to raise and lower the shower door to adjust for however high the tub is and make minor adjustments, and I'll show you that in just a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and put these on kind of snug, and I repeat the process for the other shower door. I want to go ahead and tighten them up a little bit so they don't slide back and forth. And like I said, I'll put them in the middle of the slot. That gives me the most adjustability. Now I can put my handles on, and they go right here. And screw on the back, and then I want to get my handle. Once I get that tightened and straight, put my handle in the right way. So I put the channel on the downside and slide this in. Get my other side piece, slide that in, and just one screw on the back. Some of the shower doors that you may come across will have frameless designs, whereas the handle will go through the glass, and those have little rubber bumpers that go in between the glass and the actual holders. But this one has a framed setup. It's just a basic door once again, so it just goes through the frame. And again, I'm going to repeat the same process for the other shower door. Put my bracket on using the screw through the frame, and then I tighten that up and get it as straight as possible. Put my handle on, slide it into the handle, put the other handle on, and then I can tighten that one up, same as I did the first door. So now that I have my doors all put together, I can go ahead and hang my doors in the top rail, and I just put one side in at a time, and it slides over real nice. And then I can put my other shower door on, and just clips right into place. And now they're hanging loosely, so I'm going to have to put my guide in the bottom rail, and it's just a small little piece of black plastic here. It fits right down on the bottom rail like this, and you can see that it is going to not fit underneath the doors. So I'm going to have to take the doors off and adjust the rollers. So again, I just lift those off out of the track, and once I get the guide in there, it'll keep the door in place. So I take my roller and I slide it down to the lowest position that I think it'll fit, and do the same for the other side. And I want to do them the same distance so that the doors hang level. And I'm going to take the other door off and do the same thing. Just loosen up the roller and slide it down. Tighten it back up, and with any luck, this will be the final adjustment on this. May have to do it a couple times, but we'll see how this works out. I just tighten that up, then I can go ahead and hang my shower doors back in the top rail. So we've got one in here, and we just do the other one the same way. Then I can take my guide, once I get this one in, take my guide and put it down and make sure that the shower doors will slide above the guide. So I set it down on my bottom rail and it goes right underneath. So I want to put it about halfway in between both doors so that it has even space. And then I'm going to drill a hole through the bottom rail and put in a stainless steel set screw. Got a stainless steel screw here to hold that in place. It'll keep it right where I drilled the hole. And that'll keep the shower doors in place and let them slide back and forth real nice and easy. Some shower doors come with bumpers that get screwed in by the screws that hold the side rails on, but this one just has the adhesive type. And once I get all 6 bumpers on here, I'm just going to go around with a clear silicone around the outside, around the inside, and once I get that all siliconed up, I'll wipe it down with my finger, and that's how you install the basic shower door. I'm How To Bob. Thanks for watching.